Hi, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com, as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And our first ever episode will be about Hayate the Combat Butler, otherwise known as Hayate no Gotoku, for Chapter 430, otherwise known as Shining Brightly. And this is kind of more fallout from what I like to call the Dojinshi arc, where Ruka and Nagi were competing to see who could sell the most manga, and whoever won would sort of keep Hayate in their lives. If Nagi won, Hayate would stay on as her butler, and if Ruka won, she would take on his debt, but she would no longer work as he would no longer work as her butler. And we always knew how this was going to turn out. Well, at least the anime made it very clear that Hayate is still working as her butler, and they even mention in one of the anniversary issues, one of the breaking the fourth wall parts, that of course she wins, and that later episodes of the anime are set after the manga, or at least where the manga currently is. So Hayate is obviously still her butler, so she had to win the competition, but it was all how does she win. And the last chapter was a lot of Nagi and Ruka showing they don't have any hard feelings, and that they all put in 100% into the competition, and that even though Ruka is going to continue on to be an idol, that one day she will be a mangaka as well. And so, that was kind of a fun little, yay, no hard feelings. I am a little disappointed that at the very end of the last chapter, Dr. Curso mentions that she knows Hayate's brother and has more information about him, and he's one of the kind of mysterious characters that, other than looking like one of the guys from Heroes of the Sea Lightsabers, which was a little series that Kinjiro Hata worked on before Hayate, he's just like one of these characters we want to know more about, and it seems like in this chapter we should be learning more about him, but they're like, yeah, you guys can wait for that. I guess you'll have to see what happened in that conversation in flashback, because it's time to talk about Ruka and Hayate. And this chapter starts off with Nagi and the crew looking to celebrate the end of the comic convention, and Nagi selling out by watching some fireworks at a festival, and they're going to go on top of a building that happens to be owned by Isumi's dad, who is pretty much supposed to be, I think, like the head of Sony, although they always kind of talk around that. And they're gonna invite Ruka, but Nagi's like, nah, this is Ruka's time. So she lost, but let's give her this. And so they don't interrupt her with her family or with Hayate. And a lot of this seems to be kind of Ruka shipping service, like Ruka and Hayate go on kind of like a date, and Ruka thanks Hayate for all she did, and reconnecting her with her parents, and they just kind of finally are both free from a lot of the commitments they're usually attached to. So they go out on a date and learn Hayate can eat like a champ. And, if you didn't already think Hayate was super awesome, here was another reason to think it. And it's a lot of just little moments of them having fun and kind of letting down the barriers that they don't normally have. In a way, I kind of feel like this is a little bit of fan service for Ruka and Hayate shippers before they give them the super axe, because Ruka definitely seems to be ready to say something at the end of this chapter. And, obviously they're not dating in the anime, so nothing's really going to happen here, but I feel like Hada realizes that Ruka and Hayate are a popular pairing, and so, as opposed to just being Hayate being like, speak to the hand, I've got a master, they, rather have them have this like kind of one special moment together, so anybody who kind of shipped that couple, can at least get a little something. So I'm kind of curious how that all plays out in chapter 431, and maybe we'll get a little bit on Hayate's brother in the next chapter as well. But this has just started, so I can't see me stopping anytime soon. So with any luck, I'll see you guys all next week with another Hayate chapter. I think the next chapter I'm going to be looking at is the new chapter of the Seven Deadly Sins. Alright, see you tomorrow.